So I'm getting to the end of our project. It's so close, I can taste it. But I've realized that as I'm getting closer, there are some things that are taking longer than they should. And I think what's happening is that I'm starting to feel what Stephen Pressfield calls in The War of Art resistance. It's these like outside forces of just any kind of creative endeavor, whether you're building a business, whether you're creating a work of art, whatever it is. And when you're being creative, which is what we're doing with building this mining facility, right? Like these aren't done very often. So we're having to be very creative in how we put it together. And I'm having to be super hands-on to make decisions on the fly about how we're going to make adjustments or do what we think is best based on what we've seen happen in other places. And as I'm doing that, in this particular part, we're putting up these walls. And so you can see right here where this foam insulation board isn't meeting the stud exactly right, like it's supposed to. And really all it takes is just like you make a cut and adjust it and move on. But for the first like week of this, it was bogging me down. Like I'm literally hitting the wall here of why is this taking so long? And if this takes me an extra 5 minutes and we've got 300 of these boards and I spiral into this, like just thinking about all these negative things, or because I'm hitting a roadblock, I go work. I'm like, oh, let me put this down. I go work on something else, or let me fix this doorknob over here that doesn't meet like it's supposed to, or I think I hear some birds. Maybe they built some nest inside the warehouse. I should go inspect that, or even more ridiculous, like, oh, look at these pipes out in the yard. I wonder if I could balance on them, coming up with all these things that completely take me away from the work. When, as Pressfield says, these are the moments where amateurs are separated from the pros, because you've got to push through that. One, you got to recognize that it is what it is, and two, you've got to just push through it and do the work. And you can see, as I've acknowledged this and recognized it, I've been better about it in the last few days, and I've made some progress. Like we're more than halfway through on this thing, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's gonna happen, but when I didn't realize what was happening with this whole like resistance concept, I was fighting it and getting way off track, and so. Just something to remember. If you're, if that's you, if you've found yourself like bogged down or not as energetic or whatever it may be on a project that you're on, it might just be some resistance that you're facing that you just got to get it through. It's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. It definitely isn't in the crypto world, but we got to push through it to the other side. So if you think about it, shoot me a text, send me an email. Stay on me. Make sure I'm putting these walls up. Ask for a picture. Hold me accountable. I would appreciate that. I'll see you next time.